Just tune in, his show magic happens for you. Yes, tonight is the night tonight. Joey Reynolds Show. So now is the time to call the station. 800-321-0710. Ooh, yes, tonight is the night tonight. Joey Reynolds Show. Tonight is the night tonight. Oh, what a show. Tonight is the night tonight. Joey Reynolds Show.
Oh, come on, you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
Pretty amazing. All the mics work.
Wow.
That's just
Joey Reynolds house party.
Put a new battery in his house.
remember when we worked for GE and none of the lights worked?
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
They bring good
pretty
things to
amazing.
light. Yes.
Yeah. So we have a party tonight. It's a Friday night, Saturday morning, whichever way you look at this. Cartoons start tomorrow, but we have with us tonight the famous Kramer, who is the first Kramer in a long line of Kramers, and then we have Joe Patane from MTV's Real World. Joe's also writing the life story of Steve Wozniak right now, and Steve's busy trying to finish it. And then Joe's going to write it, but he has to live a little more, though, don't you think?
Oh yeah, he's not even 50 yet, and just playing with kids every day. He's a kid himself, and
so am I.
It. Yeah.
I'm that way too. And then Randy West, of course, who knows my children and has nothing to do with them. They sit on his lap and order things for Christmas.
I used to have something to do with your children, but now it would violate the terms of my parole. So
yeah,
I just kind of steer clear.
A family show, Randy.
A family show. Yes, I bet your family.
And no more prison jokes either.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be good.
And then, of course, there's the jabroni that jumped out of the plane, Michael Sergio, who's turned state's
and
witness.
you're giving me a hard time.
That's by supporting the Sopranos on the Fall Language
Network.
Network, yeah, HBO, which after the Sopranos, they follow with Dennis Miller, who's even more vulgar. Mm-hmm. And then if you haven't had enough dessert, they clear your palate with a show afterwards where they got two Hispanics that are hysterical and laughing at each other and they're swearing in Latin. Mm-hmm. That
take a stand now, Joey.
Go ahead. I will. I think that we don't need to have Robert De Niro famously swears at every dwarf in the world in every one of his movies. You know, I mean, I'm offended at the fact that he first of all picks on short people like Joe Pesci and who's that other one, Danny DeVito or whoever he gets in front of him, Billy Crystal, this latest movie.
Right.
He takes short people and then he beats them up with his vulgarity. That seems to be a pattern. That's just something I've noticed. Just a little footnote.
Don't you think that the characters he plays, that's the way they talk? It would be unrealistic to have those characters talking without that language.
Now, my family never talked that way. I come from an Italian-American family. Joe Patane has one. Now, your father talked that way around the house?
Never talked that way around the house.
Did you have an uncle who did that?
Your family was not a bunch of wise guys, you know?
No, and they weren't whacking each other either.
Well, exactly,
So
but that's what these families are, and that's what these now... Have you ever been around those people?
Yeah, I've been around them.
Don't they talk like that?
No.
Oh, come on.
They do not talk that way.
Joe, I'm amazed at the sensitive side here. Yes. I'm wounded. I feel your pain, Joe.
Yes,
Joe, you said none of those jokes now. So is it back to Father Knows Best and Leave It to Beaver? And,
no, only for you because you're on Nick at Night. But you know, everything. Your life is in black and white. The rest of us are in color.
Oh, really? I thought it was just these contacts.
No, and as a matter of fact, Nick at Night is now just getting the Rodney King beating, which we're all thrilled to see. I mean, it's a little late for it, but thank you. So the whole idea here of having this language is only because we don't need to say these words when they have anger behind them. Now, if we all had that sensitivity to where we were not battering and beating each other to death with our insanity, then I could probably go along with the gag. I try to not use those words. Let me put it that way.
And that's great because you set an example and you set the values for your family. But does that mean that people who, here's a gentleman produced a film, should he be prohibited from using certain language in certain situations?
Now, Steve Allen said, as a matter of fact, when I had him here on the show a couple of weeks ago, he says, listen, this language is totally unacceptable for over the air. It should not be acceptable language for an average person to have to hear. However, if you go to the Friars Club, expect it.
Yeah, really.
I mean, that's what you're going to get. So that's his standard. It's not that it's a double standard. It's just that there's a place for it.
Yeah, but don't forget, on cable television, you're paying to have that in your house.
If we were doing the Western concept, I could picture Robert De Niro swearing at the sheep.
Well, then,
I mean, you know, that just seems to be what he wants to do now.
You'd be on the sheep's side.
And it's not that I don't like him. I mean, you know, sheep are very...
Watch it, don't go there, Joey.
Raised on a farm, were you?
Now, Joe, of course, who is an MTV guy. Now, there's another angle. Joe, what do you think about this kind of thing? You haven't said anything at all.
Well, wow. I mean, television and movies and whatnot are just...
kids. You work with children.
Well, MTV's been bleeping the whole time.
No, he works with children. He has an MTV background, but works with children.
Chaos, total chaos.
We're talking about what the end result is. What we all know what had happened in Colorado. We don't want that to happen.
No.
And then we're wondering why. Well, there's a couple of reasons why, and we're talking about them. We're talking about how to take a family and when two people want to work and one is not home for the kids. Both could be home, but at least one. And they're not, we're absent. We're not there. We're not raising our children. The streets are.
Well, now that's the issue. It's not so much what's on television. It's the issue
part
of who's watching it with the kids.
The result of that is the language. It's the style. And then the cryptic part of all of this is that we want to be politically correct.
Yes.
We go so far out of our way to not tell an ethnic slur, but on the other hand, we're so vulgar and base and violent that it almost cancels the first thought.
Joe, you mentioned before that there were no women with us today, so
Yeah.
I brought the co-producer of Under Hellgate Bridge in with me. This is Isil Bagdadi.
Hello, everyone.
Ushul, now that's a lovely name, and
Thank you.
I'll never remember it again. What is it?
I know you won't.
Ushul.
It's Ushul, right.
Can I help out here? Can I help out? It's bushel without
Oh
the
my
B.
God, now you've told to everyone.
Ushul.
All right, now Ushul, are you from the neighborhood?
I'm from New York.
Notice how to be so careful
Queens.
to not ask if she's from France or something. You got to be so careful anymore. The hood. Are you from the hood?
Yo.
All right. Now you are involved in this film with Michael. You don't have any intention for a promotion to jump out of a plane and go into Shea Stadium.
No, I don't have that intention at all.
Okay. So it's
I'll take that kind of luck, thank you.
sure, and it's wonderful.
We'll take that
And you
any day.
needed a break because you've been working your tuck us off
Listen,
all
everyone
your
needs a
life.
break. That's
Exactly.
It's a terrific one.
And here you go. You have you've really got something to bite into now.
But it's not just Sopranos, though. It's also Jonathan LaPaglia with his show 7 Days. We have some really young and up-and-coming actors in the film.
And beyond that, it's the story. I mean, it's the way you
Is
tell
it
a
this
story.
kind of language that we're talking about here?
There's a little bit of every kind of language in it. I mean, there's no sheep,
No,
so
don't
I
do a
know some of
cop
us
out.
will be disappointed.
No,
but,
don't cop out. Is it a vulgar film?
no, it's
Okay,
not about.
good.
It's a film.
That's a
It's
good
a film
question.
about.
Come on
it's-
now.
Absolutely, it's a film about redemption.
All right.
But kids on the street who seek redemption have to travel sometimes a journey which, is it fair for us to say it's vulgar? It's their reality. And this film is a reality-based, very dramatic piece. And you're not truthful if you don't use the language of the day. I mean, it would be ridiculous.
I don't know about that because when George Raft was making, the example when they were making gangster movies, that wasn't the language of the day, but they knew how to get it across without language du jour. They knew how to get their point across very well, but good acting. We got the only radio station that has an unlisted number, and also it has call waiting on it. Which is not too far from the truth. It's 800-321-0710. That's our telephone number. I want to just show on television now. Just show the lines here. These are the phone lines. See, now over here is where we have. Look at. There's 1, 2, 3. See, 15 telephone lines here. Just move the camera over here, and show everybody where the telephones are. See that? Not one of them is lit. Do you know why? Because you never know whether you're on the air or not in this studio. You cannot tell whether you're on the air. There's no phones. There's just me and a microphone and a couple of people who are paid a lot of money just to watch me and listen. That would be the engineer and the producer. So we'll never know. If you don't call me at 1-800-321-0710, we'll never know if we're even on the air. Well, they just put up a little sign on the screen that says a lot of money. But here on this show, the phones are starting to ring now. Look at. See? Now they're actually going. And this cannot be our employees making these calls because the employees are not allowed to use the phones while they're here at work. So this is actually callers. Now, these are people calling from the outside. This is you guys calling me to see whether we're answering the phones or not. I mean, if this were my job and I were paid by the word, I would be out of business right now. The kids would never go to school. All right, let me take a call here. Hello, this is Joey. You're on the air. Hello.
Joey.
Yeah, who's this?
Oh, it's Kramer.
You're sitting right across from me.
I know, but I got my cell phone working. I know bad. I heard you doing a monitor. I know it's calling, so I got my cell phone and figured I'd call in.
So you're calling me from across the room.
I'm calling you from across the desk.
Well, thanks a lot for the delay.
I'm calling, right?
Yeah, well, thank you very much. At least you're listening to me on the other side of this. Most guests don't even do that.
Are you kidding? Look at this. Every line's lit up now.
Yeah, but that's because we gave every guest a phone. Is this Tom in New Jersey?
Yes, hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
You're on the air. We don't have your picture yet.
Listen, I think you're amusing, but how do you get away with this?
With what, sir?
No, I really do. I love the show, and
Yeah.
I only discovered it about 6 months ago.
Yeah, me too, and I've been here 3 years. We want you to watch Touched by an Angel because it's on PAX TV tonight. Everybody is excited about that show, and I'm excited about it. Of course, in the Spanish neighborhoods, it's known as Touched by an Angel. And there's just so much interest in family shows. That's probably why everybody's paying attention to this show. This show is a family show, but then, it depends on what kind of a family.
Dysfunctional.
Yeah, and what did you bring me? A talent scout tonight? You got like a gal who's going to read Ticonderoga?
It could be. Because kids say the darndest things.
Yeah, don't they?
Yes, they do.
It's very nice, Randy. See, you did that very professionally.
What a great voice. He did that all in one breath, too.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
It's amazing.
Well, that's the way it is when you're a television guy.
I'm all puffed up with hair.
We'll be right back. Let me be the judge of that. It's the Joey Reynolds Show with the lovely and talented original Kramer, and we'll be right back and supersize it, Randy. You can sell the Love Boat weekdays at 4 p.m. on PAX TV, if you're really a good guy. PAX means peace. Remember Dave Garroway used to do that? Wasn't it Dave Garroway had that on the Today Show? He used to hold up the peace sign. Yeah, peace was not 2 fingers back in those days. Of course, in New York, it's 1. But it's really a pleasure tonight to welcome a television celebrity. We have the real Kramer, who actually has a whole show based on his life, although it's called Seinfeld. But the show that was Amos and Andy was really based on Kingfish's life, but they called it Amos and Andy. Well, it had nothing to do with Amos and Andy on TV. The TV one was mainly Kingfish. So sometimes they name a show after someone that they want to be the lead, but actually the person that everybody loves on Seinfeld is Kramer, because every one of the characters is despicable. Isn't that right, Ken?
Well, Kramer, I think, is the least despicable of those characters.
What are you doing? Taking pictures of our pictures?
Yeah, it's.
You have a camera in your hand.
I have a camera in my hand. I'm shooting what's known as a B-roll.
Oh, good. That's nice. Why don't you concentrate on the show?
Okay.
Yeah. You're not supposed to be doing a techie job while you're. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, I see. So we can see ourselves on camera.
There you go.
Yeah, we're very visual tonight, aren't we?
That's it. We're very television oriented.
This is like show and tell.
This is exciting, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah. Now Joe Patane is here from MTV's Real World.
How you doing, Joey?
Well, he's not from MTV's Real World. He's actually from Madison Avenue in New York.
Yes.
This is the guy who lived the Truman Story before it was a movie.
And much before that other movie too, Ed TV, which never really made it. This is Joe TV. Joe was living in a house in Miami for about 6 months, and his life got ruined, and that's the end of it. Right?
Well put, Joey.
You're nervous about Kramer holding a camera on you now?
No, I feel, I got...
Feels at home now, are you kidding?
This is just total multimedia all over the place, Joey. I'm, a little warm with all the lights today, that's all.
Well, and also you're working on a life story of Steve Wozniak.
Yes, I'm working right now. I wrote a book about the experience of going through the real world. Happy I did that, really proud about that, and not being on the show, but writing about being on the show and my life story. And now, specifically, I'm writing a book with Steve Wozniak. He's the co-founder of Apple Computer, and I'm doing his life memoirs, which is more going to be a whole bunch of prankster stories about when he was growing up and, him when he was creating electronics when he was like 5, 6, 7 years old. Good stuff like that, not just boring memoir stuff.
Yeah. And you and I have been friends for a while now, haven't we?
Oh, a long time.
And every time you go out, the girls follow you.
Oh, yeah, just tonight. They wanted to come up with me. I came in on Long Island Railroad, and the opening line on this one is, "Hey, where do we go in New York City?" I'm like, "You're going to New York City. You don't know where to go at 1 in the morning?"
So he's been famous, because of the Seinfeld thing.
Totally.
And you're famous because of the MTV thing.
Hey, I went on his reality tour, the Kramer reality tour. Is that still going on?
He did. Of course it is. Every Saturday and Sunday.
His reality tour is my living in his house. That's his reality tour. And he has been a good host. I lost my lease, and I have a clearance sale, just like all good furniture stores. And I put my stuff in storage for $9 million a month.
That's it?
Yeah.
I was there with you. I remember.
I know. You helped load.
Yes,
and unload. And load and unload. When the bin was too small.
And you were complaining a whole lot.
And we got a second room, right?
Yep.
And have all the furniture from the Salvation Army, so who helped us move? Who helped us? Come on, be
The
honest.
Salvation Army,
And
great
who-
guys, really nice
And
guys.
who got their furniture back?
The Salvation Army. It was worth.
He has a
worth
leasing
it.
deal with them.
and he's got a renting deal with you. That's pretty nice.
Yeah,
he's
You're
pretty
getting comfortable at Kramer's.
Well, yeah, because it's the rent's free. That's why. All I got to do is fill the bus every week and clean it.
Okay.
Now, Joe, when we got to take a break. We'll be
Okay.
right back. All right. It's the Joey Reynolds Show with Joe Patane and Kenny Kramer, and Randy West is here, and also we got the PAX TV crew, including Art Vuolo, and we'll be right back on PAX TV. We'll be right back on radio. We'll be right back on whatever we're on. We're gonna get off of it and be right back.
Burn, baby. Joey Reynolds Show. What a show.